Greetings everyone, my name is Lance with Lefebure Design. In this video I'm going to show you how to configure a NovAtel GNSS receiver to do RTK. So to start with, you're going to need the configuration software. There's a program from NovAtel called CDU, but I use one that I wrote called the NovAtel OEMV Config Utility. You can get it at lefebure.com and just look for the NovAtel OEMV Config Utility link. If you scroll down to the bottom of this page, we're going to go with the newest version, which downloads that, and then I'm going to put this on the desktop because we're going to use it a few times. Alright, so open that up. Yeah, we don't care about that. Always want it to just open. So, on this computer I have two COM ports, COM1 and COM2. My COM1 port is connected to the COM1 port of the MR10, and my COM2 port is connected to the COM2 port of the MR10. So on COM1, I'm going to set it to 57600, and I'm going to reset it to force the port to that speed. It sends the hardware break and then eventually connects. And what we're looking at here is some information about the receiver serial number, model type. Up here it shows what COM port we're connected to on the receiver side. So right now I'm going to turn on the GGA messages just so that you can see what's going on. And since we're not sending any correction data at all to this receiver, it's just running autonomously, so it's a plain GPS fix, tracking 12 satellites. It doesn't have the greatest view of the sky for this video, but that's fine since it's tracking GPS and GLONASS. It's got everything it needs to track. You notice that we're only getting position data out at 1 Hertz, which is sufficient for this, but for fun I'm going to turn that up. So go over to the configuration tab, and then to port settings, and I've got a list of ports that I can configure. I want to configure the one that I'm connected to, so COM1, hit next, and it tells me what my current baud rate is, data bits, parity, and stop bits. It tells me what the interface modes are. NovAtel means that it's text commands both in and out. Output logs is the part that I'm interested in right here. Right now it's set to log GP GGA long messages on time at 1 Hertz, so once per second. And we want to change that to 10 Hertz. So what I'm going to do is go into the add a message spot in here, and by default GGA long is the first thing selected. I'm going to change from 1 Hertz, I'm going to go up to 10 Hertz, and then hit add. You'll notice the data here at the bottom of the screen, it's coming out of the receiver a lot faster. If we go back to the position status tab, you'll notice the position points are moving much quicker than they were before because, well, this is 10 Hertz. So, now that we have position data coming out of COM1, we need to configure COM2 to accept correction data. So I'm going to go back to the ports screen, I'm going to select COM2 from the list, hit next, and I need to change only one thing. I need to change the interface mode for the input to be RTCM version 3, which is the format of correction data that I'm going to send it on COM2. So I changed to RTCM version 3, hit set, and there was a blue line that scrolled through here a little bit ago. That's all we need there. I'm going to go back to the position status tab. Nothing will have changed because we're still not feeding it any data. Now what I'm going to do is open up the NTRIP client, which I have pre-configured for the Iowa DOT's real-time network here. I'm going to open that up. It goes to full screen, but I'm going to make it a little smaller and make it so you can see both windows here at the same time. We don't need that. We'll put this down here. Alright, so I'm going to connect to COM2. Oh, it's not set at the appropriate speed, is it? We need to change, back on the configuration tab, COM2, we need to change the baud rate of COM2 to match the GPS receiver, the NTRIP software. So I'm using 57600 over here. I need to use, it's 57600 over here. Those two have to match. Hit set. If I go back to COM2, maybe add an output log of GGA. We'll set that to 10 Hertz as well. If I hit add, now you'll see GPS information is being transmitted to this port as well, so we'll see it show up over here. So now what I need to do, back on the position status tab so we can see what's going on there, I'm going to click connect and we'll download the list of things that are available from the RTN, list of streams. RTCM version 3 Max is the one that I want in this case. Select that stream, hit connect, and when data starts flowing, you'll see moving data here. It pretty quickly goes to a DGPS solution, and then it goes to RTK fixed. And you'll see we're tracking 7 satellites here, 7 on this side, and it shows you what the correction age is. Bounces between 0, well, it's actually a fraction of a second, and 1 second old. Shows me what the correction ID, correction station ID number is. 602 is the tower of the nearest base station on this network. And the easiest way to see how accurate your data is, well, maybe not the easiest, but one way of doing it is to look at the altitude information. And if you're on RTK, you'll notice that it moves in a matter of millimeters. It's a very small amount of movement between position points. So 249 meters elevation, 0.916-ish millimeters above sea level. So that's how you configure a NovAtel MR10 to do RTK. Again, back on the COM2 screen, any port that you're sending correction data to the receiver has to be configured to accept the type of correction data that you're sending it. Either RTCM version 3, RTCM version 2, or CMR, CMR Plus. Those are the options that most people are going to use. Aside from that, make sure that your baud rate matches, and if you want any messages coming out of the receiver, such as position data for an Ntrip client or something else for logging purposes, turn that on as well. And that's it. When you're all done, go back to the main screen and you hit Save Configuration on the main configuration screen. That writes the configuration to a piece of flash memory on the receiver so that when you reboot it, it will continue doing what you have it configured to do. Otherwise, when you reboot it, it goes back to whatever it was doing last, which in this case was factory defaults. So, thanks. Have a great day.